As it turned out, I was here for Congress. I love this place. Thank you, Carl. I admire candidates who work without a net, but I got some stuff to tell you, and I don't want to forget. I'm going to talk about sports and crime and education and money and tax evasion, so that should cover some of it. To give $60 million for a soccer stadium and $70 million for Scottrade upgrades when we don't have enough money for police and teachers and other city services is just crazy, and we're not going to do it under my administration. We need a regional sports authority, never without a vote of the people. So shame on those older people who are giving money to Scottrade without a vote. Pretty much everyone who's running seems to support it, except my friend Antonio French, who told me he's voting against it twice. No and hell no. We need a detailed cost-benefit analysis of what we're paying and what we're getting before you give them money, and an opportunity cost analysis. What else could you spend the money on if you don't give it to them? And my idea is if the sports, if the partners won't guarantee that the city doesn't lose $1 from day one, then they don't get it. Because if they're not willing to take the risk, why should we? So I'm Bill Haas, and as you may know, I've run for this office 5 times over 25 years. So that shouldn't mean everything, but it should mean something. Because if you don't believe that the problems are solvable, and that you have a contribution to make to help solve them, you have no chance at all because your vision won't be set high enough. Now, I never talk about where I went to school. Some people know it always seems irrelevant, but I think about it. I'm Yale and Harvard Law School, and if you come out of those places thinking you're smarter than everybody else, you've missed the point. What I say is I may not be a lot dumber than everybody else. So if anybody could solve these problems, why not I? You don't set limits for yourself. When the first 10 things you tried don't work, you have the creativity and the confidence to come up with the next 10 that will. And I think that's the advantage of everybody's smart to be courtesy, often in different ways, but I got some, and I'm going to use them. I wanted my whole life to use them to help our community, and I believe that I can, or I wouldn't be facing it. Everyone wants more police. But if we don't address the causes of crime, our grandchildren will be saying, I need more cops on my block. So in a nutshell, we all know the cause of crime is poverty, and the solution of poverty is education. So any mayoral candidate who doesn't have education on their list of issues to address doesn't deserve your consideration. And any candidate who doesn't think the mayor can do something about it doesn't deserve your vote. There are some things we can do in the short run, like we need laws. Well, I just got a statute, an ordinance, that's requiring people to lock their guns in their car, because that's where most of the guns for crimes come from, is thefts of guns in cars. But we need short-term, medium-term, and long-term solutions to solve education. The long-term, if you had to do one thing, I mentioned this when I was running for Congress, if you had to do one thing to change society, it would be third-grade reading scores. Less than 40% of our kids are reading at grade level. The other half have no chance at all. You need a 5-year plan to get them 100% reading at grade level. Then they have a future. We have smaller class size. We need a little bit more of that. Regular testing, who's behind, who's supposed to be helping them catch up. And the key that we don't have is a second qualified adult in every one of those classrooms to deal with discipline problems and those who are falling behind. And when I heard that we needed $12 million for 200 more police, and we need the $12 million, and we need the police, within 30 seconds I called my friend Calvin Adams, the superintendent, and I said, how much money do I need to get a second adult in every one of those classrooms, pre-K through third? He said, I'll be happy in an hour. Teacher assistant. Doesn't have to be certified. He said between $10 and $12 million. We need money for the police, we need money for those other bodies, so that we have 100% of our third graders reading at grade level. That's the long term. Medium term is an 8th grade initiative with the business community to make sure 100% graduate instead of 60% 70%, and they need good skills too. In the short run, you need to take job training and education, I call them thugs, to the misguided youth on the street. And I just go back to the thugs thing. The key to them having a good life is the same key as a child getting a good education. A longitudinal relationship with a caring adult. If nobody else cares about them, how can they care about themselves? And if we have to go block by block, and we will, saying, are there any thugs who want some job training this week? I'm going to do it. And if I have to be, and I will have to be, the caring adult in their life that they have a longitudinal relationship with. If the mayor can't do that, what can they do? So, we'll always build stuff. And it'll be, were you in job training today? Well, why not? It's an option to the life you lead now. So I'll be back tomorrow, and you better be in job training or else. And we'll both smile, and they'll know that I care, and they'll be there. Not quite yet. Where's the money going to come from? I don't like this sales tax. I'd rather have police than police cameras, and I'd rather have money for education than north-south metro link, although that's important too. And I want to put a referendum on the ballot, legalizing use of marijuana. I don't use, I haven't used, there's problems with it. The main problem is we don't know enough about it. If it damages your brain, you can do much before you miss one. So, but I'll tell you what else hurts you. If you're shot on the street, it hurts you. If you shoot somebody else, it hurts you. And if you don't get a good education, it hurts you. So I'm okay with the trade-off, but we need to put it to work. One more issue, then questions, and I close. Is that okay? Tax evasion. You know why we don't have enough money? Because the people running for mayor have $300 million of tax abatements in the last 10 years. $200 million of that is for schools. And I won't mention any names like my alderwoman Lida, but she's never met a tax abatement she doesn't like. And I don't know how to break this to you, Lida, but the Central West End is not a blighted neighborhood. I know because I live there. We're going to stop that. No abatements if it means the city loses $1 from day one. And none for the schools. All right, I'm ready.
I think everybody has their voice phone number, and I didn't realize that the closest fast is taking pictures.
You can have my phone number, but there's one condition. What's the condition? Elect me mayor. I have my address. I'll be there.
You want to take a couple
I want to. Yes, you first.
All right. I'll come to every one of your shows.
What do you vote for?
But my question is, what can you do around the whole city by being mayor that you couldn't do what you was already doing already?
You can work with the raise money. You can, there's a certain credit to being out on the street as mayor, saying I care about you.
You're a Republican?
Where did I go wrong? I'll tell you what leaders do. Great leaders convince people of what is the right thing to do and inspire them to do it. They ask the community to stand and deliver. And under my administration, I probably won't get this. You never know what God's plan is. I'm proud of chasing it. It doesn't look like I'll get it. There's still some time. But if I believe it can be done, the community will believe it can be done. What kids aren't in school today and you're supposed to be knocking on their door? There's a housing project of about, it's in the New York Times, 80 blocks in Queens. They didn't have one homicide last year. We're going to have a city with no homicides. We need to, you know what cities do? They find out who's committed a lot of crimes and they go right at it. They say, you're a repeat offender. You get a choice. You stop doing this, or we're going to be on you, and here's your alternative. We're going to have you in a job training program next week. What do you think is a good move for you? And I'm going to be the one telling them that. and I'm gonna be back the next day to see how they're doing. I'm not gonna be at City Hall at all, so don't come looking for me at City Hall. If you're not on the street trying to save lives, you don't deserve to be there.
If you're mayor, then I have your office.
Let me tell you something. I had it reserved for Tashara, because I thought we'd make a
She
great,
has a great office.
I thought we'd make a great team, and I asked her if she wanted, Lyra's gonna be the next mayor unless somebody does something. The way it's at. And I asked Tashara if she wanted to have coffee and talk about running together. Through her friends, people. She said, I want to take my shot. And I'm like, that's fair, I want to take my shot too. But, yeah, you can have my offer. And when things go badly, I'll take the blame, and if they go well, you can have the credit. Question?
One more question.
One of the things that you were saying, and I caught on accountability, and I heard all the candidates, and they talking about what they're gonna do, but like you were saying, we don't control, we vote you in, we never see you, or we vote the next person, we never see you. We don't hold our own accountability for our neighborhood and see things change. I mean, you can say what you wanna say, but we're still, we still gotta take our kids. It has to happen within, and what I mean by that is that, if, this is quick. I'm gonna have a house on Cherokee, right? They're appraising the house for $200,000.
Correct.
But just because I say I'm Ohio and Lego, they're appraising for $20,000. So now I can't refinance, take my kids to school, but we have to get together in our own neighborhood to bring up the value, to bring up each other, and then we can hold you accountable all you want to, but as long as we just walking past people, robbing people, killing people, and not standing up and saying, like you said, hey you, stop. Because I'd rather die for something than live for something.
Work together, but the tone is set at City Hall, and if the mayor believes that we can be the city in America that other cities look to and say, that's how you do it in urban America, we'll all start to believe. And I intend to set that tone from City Hall, and our goal should be not to lose one young person to the street. You know, our families have sometimes failed our children. Our education certainly has. And Chief Joseph of Vanessa First Tribe, after he chased 1,000 miles by the Army, and he had to give up because they wanted to move him from Oregon to Idaho, and he's the one who laid down his arms when they had, it was winter, they had no food, they had no toast, the leaders were dead, and he said, I will fight no war forever. And it's become a famous line. We need to say to our children, we will fail you no more forever. And that tone has to be said at City Hall. And you need
And
somebody.
I have to say to my child, this babysitter turned into a pumpkin next week. And he's my dad, and he's angry on the
Two things. All I ask for during this campaign is a level playing field to chase my dream. And when the Post-Dispatch in their first story on the race said Bill Haas doesn't have a chance to win.
I'm sorry, that's not what we said, sir.
It is exactly what you said.
Not what we said.
I'll stand by my facts, you can stand by yours. They said there's only one more candidate with a chance to win, and that's Lyman. So, but your editor and I had a talk, and he agreed with me. All right, the last.
We have, President Reed is our last candidate, but also our comptrollers are in green this year, and we just like to introduce yourself, so.
One sentence. I long thought that I could be the best that ever was. And you never know till you get there, but they say in Texas, if you can do it, it ain't great. And I'd like to chance to bring the dreams that we all share for the city to fruition. And I ask you to consider supporting my passion and my vision, because I'm proud of both of them, and they're to serve you. That's my dream.